show on the road. Your first contestant tonight will be Gabe Hess. Here to introduce him and welcome him to the stage is his coach, Grant Collett.
Hi! Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting these guys. I cannot tell you, first off, I gotta tell you how proud I am of all 5 of these contestants because they've been hitting the grindstone and working out their stuff, and I cannot tell you how proud I am, and I hope you guys are proud of them too because most of them haven't been on stage until they auditioned. So, with that said, it's a crazy life as a comedian. I personally just got back from the road. I spent 20 hours in a car in the last 48 hours. I let Gabe know the day before I left. Hey, by the way, good luck. But he's got an amazing support group from his friends, his family. He had access to me while I was gone. It's one of those things that, like, as a comic, you have to go. You get a gig offering. This is the job that we do. You know, we can't do what we do without you guys. So give yourselves a round of applause for coming out and supporting these guys. So, you know, I knew Gabe was, he's very talented, and I didn't quite realize this until I started talking to him, that we are very, very like-minded people, you know. The way I like to say it is don't judge a book by its cover, you know, because if the cover's really pretty and the book sucks, then you're, you know, out $20, you know. But in terms of this, he's a really pretty cover, but he's also a great read. He's got so many talents. Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna bring on the heartfelt stuff now. Get ready. Tissues ready? All right. But, you know, it's getting to know him and realizing that he's got all these talents and he's a hard worker. He's been hitting the mics. He's the youngest kid in this competition that's happened to make it to the top 5. He has never touched the stage until he auditioned for Boise's Funniest Person. He is seriously, I'm impressed. I'm so proud of him for everything he does. He wrote an original 8 new minutes for tonight's show specifically. It's going to be clean, and he is going to wow. He's going to wow you guys. Like, I am so proud of him for all the work that he's put in. And so, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, please help me make some noise for Gabe Hess.
Hello. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You all came for me. That's so kind. 230 strangers. I didn't even have to tell you. That's amazing. You guys, my name is Gabe Hess. Tonight I'm going to be telling you some stories from my childhood that helped shape me kind of as a human being, and just some stories, you know, that will maybe give you a better idea of who I am as a person. So, when I was a kid growing up, I was a rather husky individual, I guess you could say. I was a plus-sized child. Today I like to consider myself to be a member of the FFKA, the Former Fat Kids of America. We're a support group that meets once a month, and, you know, you get up and you say, like, hello, my name is Gabe, I'm 8 years skinny. But I really just miss frosting this week, and it's so hard. It's so hard sometimes, you guys. You know? I just got my 10-month chip. It says, do not eat on it. Or the chip. No, you know, it's difficult growing up when you're an overweight kid, because people do, you know, especially young kids, they like to call you names. Like, I remember growing up, people would call me, like, Chubbs, or Fat Ass, or Gabe, which was actually just my name, but it's longer. Like, some, like, 4th grader was, like, sitting in math and was like, okay, Gabe Hess, what do we got for this guy? Let's see, we got Gabe, that's Gabe with B-E, Gabe with B-E, oh my God, that's Gabe! I did it! I'm gonna go to math now, yeah, all right. Finally nailed that guy. But, you know, I'm lucky, when I moved to Boise, I actually, I started working out more and just kind of taking, you know, better care of myself, and by the time I went into high school, I'd actually lost about 100 pounds. Yeah, that's right, you can clap for that, yeah. I'm the biggest winner. Yeah. No, but, you know, it was weird because for the first time in my life, I sort of had like a regular dude body, but I still had like a fat kid brain, if that makes any sense. Like my friends would invite me to go swimming, and, like, I'd, like, go to take my shirt off, but then my fat kid brain would be like, keep your shirt on, they're gonna know we have man boobs. we didn't bring enough sunscreen, we're gonna get burnt. Or for like the first time in my life, girls would flirt with me, which is something I didn't have like a lot of experience with. So like, a lot of times girls would flirt with me, and my fat kid brain would convince me that they were actually just like after my snacks, Don't tell Angela we have Junior Mints in our pockets. We earned those. I'm like, yeah, nice try, Angela. These are our Junior Mints. We earned those. It's still hard. I have trouble when I go out with women these days. I have like kind of weird things when I look for when I date a woman. Like for me, like musical taste is a really important issue. And it's unfortunate because the other day I went on a date with a girl, and the date was going really well. We were having a great time. And until the issue, I asked her, she's like, oh, so what's your favorite band? And she was like, oh my God, I love Creed. Creed is my favorite band in the whole world. Oh my God. And for me, I was like, oh no, that's my least favorite band of all time. Are you serious? And like the date was kind of just over for me at that point. Like I just imagined, like our life together, like a lifetime full of Creed and like, yeah, and like she's like walking down the aisle at our wedding to like, with arms wide open, under the sunlight, My parents are just like in the audience, just like shaking their heads. She insists that like our first dance beat of like, can you take me higher? We'd have to like dance to that song. She leans in, she's like, this is gonna be our song forever. They're gonna play this song at our funerals. I just like start crying and, oh, you're emotional? I'm like, no, I'm just terribly sad about this life decision. Oh God. But I think the breakup was somewhat mutual. Like I'm pretty sure as soon as I told her that I was like a really big Star Wars fan, like I could just see it in her head. She was like nerd, 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 nerd. Like I could kind of just see like the light of interest just exploding like the Death Star. It's not the man you're looking for. So we didn't see each other again after that. It is pretty insane today though, like people my age are getting married. I'm 21. So in my head I'm like, why are kids marrying other kids? Like this shouldn't be allowed. Like, what's going on here? Someone get the teacher, It's like very strange to see. And what really freaks me out at this point in my life is like the till death do us part of marriage. Like that's such a long time commitment at 21. Like, I'm way too like immature to make that amount of commitment. Like if I got married today, I'd have to insist that they like change the line from till death do us part to like till we can no longer agree which shows we should watch together on Netflix. Like that's the most I can do at my age, Like my friend would come up to me and be like, Gabe, I heard you and Ashley broke up, dude. What happened? I'd be like, yeah. She said she just couldn't watch The Office anymore. So I took the kids and I left. Because I stick to my principles. I grew up playing a lot of sports in high school. I was a very sporty kid. And I took my big body and I threw it at other big men and I stopped them. Stopped them cold, my big body. I was a lineman when I played football. And I always felt really bad for the other like kids who had like really mean football dads. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Friday Night Lights-esque dads who like show up with their like lawn chair and they're like have a sixer next to them. They're like, try harder, Jeffrey! You better make that block! Like I was like, oh my God, these people are so intense. I was lucky. I didn't have anything like that growing up, but what I did have was like really intense theater arts parents. Like really, like people who were just super into art, and like I remember, like my dad would, he would come to like my theater practices, and he'd be like, it'd be like a sea of moms, and then my dad, and he'd be like wearing his like old leather jacket from his high school production of Grease or something like that. He'd have like a bottle of Yellowtail Chardonnay and he'd like plant it in the front row or something like that. And he'd like look up at me during the play and be like, "You gotta commit to the bit, son!" You know? "I put you in improv classes since you could walk. It's yes and, son. Take the idea. Go and score." You know? "This Chardonnay is damn delicious." He'd like slow. He'd like mouth off to the other moms. He'd be like, "Shut up, Tiffany, your daughter's an understudy." Then he'd like, get in his Prius and drive home. He'd watch like old tapes of himself from like his, like playing like Jean Valjean in college. He'd be like, "That's when dudes could really act." The 80s. Hey everybody, thank you so much. My name's Gabe Hess. I had a great time tonight. Thank you so much.
Gabe Hess, everybody. I'm totally that mom. I totally am. Judges.
First of all, I'm glad Gabe, great job, and I remember some auditions. You did a great job at audition. And I'm glad that you talk about being a fat kid before, because your good looks are intimidating to guys in the audience. You need to, if that's not even true, good for you for making it up, because guys will hate you. It's a good, smart way to start.
That's true.
Also,
I lived it. It was terrible.
Also, great job bringing bits to life. That's a thing that it takes a lot of comics a long time to learn, where you're not just doing the joke, then you're sort of acting it out, the conversation, the voice in your head. So great job with that. I thought you did wonderful.
Thank you.
You are really pretty. You look a lot like the guys in high school though, that were super huge douchebags though, so I love that you're not like that.
I probably just didn't know how to talk to you. I didn't know what to do.
Anyway, I'm gonna preface this and the rest of my judging with the fact that I usually try to be super critical, and Alicia mentioned something about Soviet judges in one of her jokes, but my husband always calls me the Russian judge when I go to events, because I will try to pick people apart, and it was really difficult for me to pick you apart. So there was a teeny bit of a slow start at the beginning, kind of like saying, "This is what I'm going to tell you," instead of just jumping right into your joke.
Sure.
But once you did, man, what a fun story. I just want to sit down and I want to learn more about you, because there's just so many fun stories and really creative, original material. So.
Thank you so much.
I agree with both of them. And I have to say, when you shine is when you get into your own head. When you have the conversations with yourself.
Do you think like schizophrenics ever get that compliment? Mike, you're really shining today.
Although it's in your head, you're thinking outside the box. And that's what matters.